Hey guys, first of all, I want to apologize for any birds chirping or any nature sounds and stuff like that. It's just a really nice day, and I really needed to get outside and thought, why not film outside? I just really wanted to be outside, to be honest. So, the birds just had like a chirping fest right here. Like, I postponed this video for a few minutes, so, like, it's not bad right now, but it was really, really bad, and if they start up, I am so, so sorry. Secondly, I am a little sick, so if my voice sounds a little weird, that's why, and I apologize for that. Any sniffling, I'll try to edit out, but any of that, I do apologize for. Uh, alright, so usually when big topics and things happen in the world or the US that are transgender related, I am just waiting kind of for the YouTube response to it and stuff, and I watch the videos and all that, and usually my responses come a little bit later, and I've always just kind of been, I've never been one to really speak out much ever or say much about my own opinion before I kind of know what others are. And I think that's just because I've never really been like a leader type person, and I've never really been one to speak up. So, I thought I'd kind of step out of my comfort zone today and try something a little different. Talking about something that kind of happened really recently. Just for the record, I guess, I'm filming this on Friday, February 24th. So kind of a recent thing that happened is the whole transgender bathroom issue has come back up. The Trump administration withdrew federal protections for transgender students in regards to the whole bathroom thing and which bathroom transgender individuals should use. It's actually really interesting because the first time I heard about this, I was riding in the car with my brother, my mom, and another person. And my brother, he's in the front seat, and he goes, "Trump's trying to make Kai use the women's restroom again." And I was like, "No, he can't. My birth certificate's changed. My license is changed. The only way they know, they'd have to literally make me pull down my pants and show them. That's the only way they know, so I'm good." Honestly, that's what I said. That was like my response in the car when my brother said that. I'm just gonna be honest with you. That was my first reaction. And then after about 2 or 3 seconds, I thought, and I was like, but I know a lot of people that can't say that. And I know there was a time when I couldn't say that. And I know a lot of people that this is gonna affect. Just that moment that I was able to have, like being proud that I could say that, I realized not everyone has that. And it was weird because that was the first time I ever felt like having that privilege. And I realized that and acknowledged that it was a privilege. Like, I walk into the men's bathroom, no problem, I pass, fine these days. I have, even if someone were to ID me, I could show them on my ID, it says male. If someone were to go as far as wanting my birth certificate, even that says male. Like, they would have to go to extra lengths to find any way to say I have to use the women's restroom. But there was a time where I couldn't say that, and I thought back to the times when I was preteen and I didn't know which bathroom to use, and I would sometimes avoid going to the bathroom altogether. I would use the family restroom if there was one, or I would only use the restroom if there were a family restroom. And then I'd always feel weird coming out of the family restroom sometimes, and there'd be like a mom waiting with like her 2 kids or 3 kids, and I felt like I looked like an asshole coming out of the family restroom when it's literally right in between the men and the women's restroom. The times when I did go into the men's restroom and I was worried if someone was going to know, someone was going to realize I was using the stall, and I did look feminine. I either looked like a really young boy or stereotypical lesbian, so I didn't know like if I was safe. But if I went into the women's restroom, I would get the worst looks, like I was a boy going into the women's restroom. I'd get stares and looks. Sometimes if I did go in with my mom, she would have to tell people out loud that that's my daughter. That didn't feel good. I would still use the women's restroom when I was with my parents because um, my mom was worried about my safety going into the men's restroom, and I didn't tell my mom I was using the men's restroom when I wasn't with her, but when I was with her I would use the women's just so that she wouldn't be worried. And I would go in with her, and the looks would be so bad. She would say, "That's my daughter." She would have to say, "That's my daughter," which didn't feel good and was just kind of awkward and weird, anyways. One time I was in the women's restroom, and a woman walked in and saw me and walked out to check the sign and then walked back in, and like that's just awkward. Like it's not even like, I don't know. It's just so, feels so uncomfortable for everyone, I feel like. And some people are probably more brave than me and stuff and do use the bathroom when they pass less, but for me, I always took it on a day-to-day basis. Which bathroom do I use? Most likely you've used the bathroom with a transgender person and you don't even know it. Like any of us, I've probably used the bathroom with another transgender person at some point in my life and probably don't even know it. And I know, like, people go down to this whole, oh, people are gonna pretend to be this or that to get into the bathroom, and sexual predators and stuff like that. Okay, first of all, any people who do that, it's still gonna be just as obvious as it would be before. That already happens. It's happened before. It will continue to happen because people suck. I mean, that's how the world works. This law about transgender people is not going to change that. If anything, it would make it more confusing because a man who looks completely male and you can not even know, like, is passing 100%, but just because his ID or birth certificate says female, still has to use the women's restroom. To me, that seems like it's going to make it easier for men to sneak into the women's restroom than having to go through the lens of dressing up like a female and pretending to be female and all that. I'm honestly just kind of rolling out my thoughts here and just trying to say as much as I feel about this as I can. I'm not really censoring myself or I'm gonna edit this, but I'm not like editing myself as I'm going. Usually I think things through and then say them to the camera. I'm just saying stuff this time and gonna edit it, and kind of go over it again that way. So this is honestly just my raw thoughts and my honest opinion and my honest feelings throughout all this. Like, I kind of feel like an asshole for those first thoughts when my brother said that stuff and I said, "Oh, it doesn't affect me." Like, I feel like an asshole for saying that, but I'm going to be honest with you. That was the first thing that I said. And then 3 seconds later, I thought it over and was like, but it affects a lot of people. And there was a point in time when it would have affected me. I think the last thing I'll say is I would encourage people who are not transgender to just fully understand what this law means and the effect it has on people and what it's really doing. Is it protecting people or putting people in harm's way when you come down to the core of it? Just get to know exactly what it means to be transgender if you don't fully understand that. Even better, get to know a transgender person on a friendship level or something like that, if you have the opportunity, before you make those judgments that this is what this is, or this is how this is, or this is good or bad. Just get as much knowledge as you possibly can and learn as much about it as you possibly can, and give it and us a fair chance. For transgender individuals who are affected by what's going on right now, it's hard for me to give good advice because I've never been in a place where it's been a problem except for those times I told you when I had a lot of anxiety about it. Other than that, like, no laws have ever personally affected me, and I wasn't really out before I was passing much, or like out when I was in school at all. Like, I left high school before I transitioned, and then by the time I got into college, I had already started passing as male. So, like, I was not in school or anything. So it's hard for me to give really good advice. But as always, be safe and keep your head up because things do turn around, things change, and things do get better. And we will make it through this, and I'll be there for anyone who ever needs to talk. You can email me at kai.eli.fet@gmail.com. I'll put that down below too, and I also have some other social medias that I'll put down below. But if you want to get me fast, probably I check my emails frequently, so yeah. I will talk to you all soon. I love you all. Peace.